I know you had to change the program to accommodate me, and therefore it is a great honor to address you today at this event. So today I'm going to speak to you about justice. The notion is awfully broad, and many argue that it is also very subjective. Many become disillusioned by it when they cannot feel it or see it. Ultimately, they don't believe in it. So let me start by putting it to you that peace, freedom, and justice are human values, meaning they belong to humanity and are pursued by humans. War, aggression, and propaganda are inhuman values pursued by those who believe in their own might and the fact that they have the right to dictate the world's order. Coming from the country where its people have been fiercely fighting for the preservation and strengthening of the human values as opposed to succumbing to those that try to impose something that is entirely unacceptable, I can tell that we believe in peace and freedom, and we also believe in justice. One could say, considering all the horrors that Ukrainian people have been enduring for the 3 weeks now and still counting, justice should not be at the forefront of our agenda, but it is. Because we are fighting for humanity, for its preservation and growth. And if we stop believing in justice and freedom, we will stop fighting for humanity, and then the world would look very bleak. That's why, in the face of the unprecedented aggression, Ukrainian people choose to defend themselves militarily, but we attack the aggressor by non-military means, and the international justice is at the forefront as a method. You must have all heard that Ukraine has various cases lodged and pending before different international and regional judicial institutions, disputing Russia's actions from UN Tribunal for the Law of the Sea to the International Court of Justice. But the International Criminal Court is the one that people of Ukraine place their utmost faith in. For the moment, just to see justice delivered to the victims of the horrific crimes that have allegedly been committed against thousands of Ukrainians. The ICC was created specifically for these kinds of situations. And while we realize that its mandate fits the best, which means that potentially it is the one institution that can respond to the demand for justice from the victims of war crimes and crimes against humanity in Ukraine, it faces many internal and external obstacles in its operation. Investigating the situation in Ukraine is going to be the greatest test, not just for the court itself, but also for those who support and fight, not just for its existence as another attempt at delivering justice for the most atrocious crimes, but for those 123 states who support it. 41 referrals give hope to many of us that at least those states see justice as an effective and powerful method to counter and deter. And for the people of Ukraine, it means they stand with us in the spirit and solidarity. However, practical implications remain to be seen. Before Russia mercilessly attacked Ukraine and the situation was referred for the investigation, the situation in Ukraine had been under preliminary examination for the events in Crimea and Donbass that had been taking place on our territory since 2014. At the end of 2020, the then outgoing chief prosecutor Fatou Bensouda decided to conclude preliminary examination with the view to opening the investigation. However, due to the lack of resources and therefore lack of capacity to conduct the investigation, it was shelved effectively until further notice. Nigeria found itself in the same predicament. So what changed and when? We all know. So what does the situation already teaches us about attitude and treatment of justice? While Ukrainian people, those who believe in it and want to believe in it, are immensely grateful, some of us cannot help but notice how states, mostly those who are more powerful, weaponize it and use it selectively and subjectively. And some of us find it difficult to stand for such treatment and use of justice. So my address to you and the message to the world, whoever is listening today, is that let's take a note of this and treat it as a lesson that we have to learn the hard way. That if we want justice and the rule of law be valued and appreciated and nurtured by humanity, let's try and treat it accordingly. Because justice does not discriminate, it does not punish, it does not kill. It helps us to preserve and nurture humanity, and with that preserve and nurture peace and freedom. I thank you for your attention.
Grazie Nadia,